My guy, welcome back. On a loudmouth Canadian, thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to try something new, try something different. Just a little update. I'm back at uni right now, so I'm going to have to change my content a little bit just to fit that type of lifestyle. So what I've done is, I thought a new idea that we could do on this channel, just weekly anime episode reviews. So the way anime, uploads is like once a week. They have certain days for it. So I thought maybe every Thursday I'll record my thoughts on particular episodes during the week, put it out there and see what people think. The ones we have today is One Piece, Mob Psycho, My Hero, Bleach, and Chainsaw Man. Now it's going to be a pretty good episode, I believe, just because Chainsaw Man and Bleach, they're returning this week. Mob Psycho returned last week, and One Piece has been going on for a while. And My Hero came back, I think, last week as well. So we got a lot of returns, one new show, and one continuation. But like the hype between Chainsaw Man and Bleach is high. And I tell you right now, spoiler alert if you believe in that, it was a good week for anime. Very good week. Just between Chainsaw Man and Bleach, very good week. My Hero was good as well. Mob Psycho, One Piece definitely. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah. First up, let's talk about Mob Psycho now. Admittedly, I did watch Mob Psycho before 2 weeks ago. I don't know why I just never picked it up, I never watched it, but I decided, you know what, just for this week, just because I'm doing this new concept for the show, I'll watch Mob Psycho, see if I like it, see not. And yeah, I dig it. I enjoy it. It's not, okay, here's my opinion of Mob Psycho straight away. It is not the top echelon of anime series, but it is good. It's good. But I feel like it's more slice of life. Because it's more about, Mob going through, his daily struggles as a middle school student who has psychic abilities. But then you have this psychic organization in the background. You have other psychics in the area. And then you get the feel of a shonen anime. But I feel like it's more slice of life. And you can see that too from this episode, where it's just about the school is having a cultural fair. And so they want to have cool, experiences, cool ideas, cool places within the school you can go to just celebrate different cultures. So the one that Mob's class is doing is a haunted house. How fitting, considering Mob Psycho's whole job is to get rid of yokais. I didn't say yokais and ghosts and whatnot. So he was selected to do costumes. I mean, they don't know that's his job, but that's how he just happened to get. So him and some other students got picked to do costumes, but the other students didn't want to do anything. But Mob Psycho's like, I call him Mob Psycho, even though his name is Mob. But yeah, Mob Psycho decided maybe we should take it seriously. The other kids wasn't really buying it, and this is when I got the first this is when I realized the first thing about Mob Psycho as a series. It always starts off mundane. So it's just like, this is the life of Mob. This is what he goes through. And then as you progress later on in the series, the overarching plot kicks in. And that's how it always starts. So if you're getting into Mob Psycho, be prepared for that. As you see here, there's not much as it's to do with action or a plot, really. So, his brother Retsu, he's part of the school council. He's worried that people are going a bit too far, but no one's really, taking him on board. As you can see, there's not much action I could talk about. It's mainly just slice of life. This is what happens, blah, blah, blah. So, pick up with Sirizara. He's taking night classes. He wants to improve himself. Reagan being a con man. First he's nervous, but he's like, you know what? Go ahead, bro. It's all you. Then we have the new character of the episode. Oh god, I hope I pronounced this correctly. Harukai Amakusa, I believe it's pronounced. Yeah, he's a yokai hunter. He hunts yokai. And he's a bit, I don't know, what's the way to describe him? Maybe timid, or maybe he just doesn't have good social skills. So his first appearance is him saying, "Ooh, standing before you is the yokai hunter, blah 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 blah." And he's practicing, trying to get it right. As soon as he walks through that door, he stumbles. "I am standing yokai before you is hunter," and he just fumbles. And Reagan's like, "Okay, fine, sit down, tell me why you're here." And he just stumbles again. He takes so long. Reagan gets pissed. He's like, "Well, hurry up, bro. I'm trying to work here." And I think what I like about this is Mob Psycho is an anime which is not scared to take itself as a joke. You know? It's not scared to do so. Most times, a lot of these characters are like joke characters. You know, it's more of a comedic anime than serious, you know? You get those serious animes like Attack on Titan. Yeah, you could argue My Hero right about now. You could argue Bleach right about now. But Mob Psycho is an anime where you can just sit down and chill. Enjoy the laughs, enjoy the funny moments. And this is what we have here. The yokai hunter, he collects himself, he figures out what he wants to say, and he does it through song. He sings this mystical warning of this yokai, the yokai king with 100 demons will come and destroy the land. Then Reagan, initially he's like, I don't buy it, bro. I don't buy it. Maybe you should go somewhere else. But then, you know, how do you say his name? I'm gonna call him Kai. Kai pulls out the stack. He's like, "Look, I could pay." Reagan's like, "You know, I believe you. Yeah, you make credible evidence. Let's go get ourselves a yokai." And so Mob turns up. You go to the place. It's covered in plants and whatnot. And there's yokai. Now we're thinking, you know, maybe this yokai will pull out something that will destroy all the ghosts or help in combat. He pulls out this sword, right? And it is, I forgot the amount. I think it's 7 million yen or 7 billion yen worth magical sword that does absolutely nothing. It's a dead weight piece of metal. Doesn't help in the slightest. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's up to Mob and Surazara to take care of the yokai. The 4 generals. It was a nice scene. Any action scene in Mob Psycho is a beautiful scene. And then the yokai king appears. He buffs up. He's like, "Yeah, you think I'm gonna be that easy? You have no idea." And he gets slapped up, dead, exercised, and that's it. That's that whole thread. As I said before, earlier on, we won't get that much important plot stuff, but later on, you might never know. Reagan, being the idiot that he is, he decides, you know, open up his mouth. He says to, you know, Harukai, "Look, being an exorcist is not about the money. It's about helping those in need, making sure the safety of others is provided." And Harukai's like, oh, that's cool. I don't have to pay you. That's nice. You're a very nice man. Reagan fumbled the bag like the idiot. So throughout this whole adventure, right, Mob is thinking of costumes he could, you know, make for this haunted house. And he decides to make one based on the yokai king. He does it, everyone seems to like it, and it goes off good. And I don't know, it's nice to see the character progression of Mob, because Mob at the beginning of the anime, he was reserved, sort of quiet. He was quiet. He just didn't get involved in stuff. He wanted to keep back and not really do much. He didn't have any feelings towards anything. But the more his powers progressed, the more he became open to using his abilities and whatnot. the more emotions he had and exhibited. And so from there he went on, and yeah, it's nice to see sort of growth from Mob. I like Mob. Mob is like that little brother who maybe not has that many friends, he just kind of like, go on, there you go. Yeah, that's good. Well done, Mob. Over back to Retsu, and I think other school council members dress up as maids, and they serve the MILFs of the area. You know, give them tea and cakes and whatnot, and Retsu hates it. And that's how the episode ends. As I said before, not much happens at the start of Mob Psycho. It's more slice of life than anything. It's more comedic than anything. Not much in the development of the characters, more of it's just moving it along, you know, getting somewhere just slowly. This week I might give this. I'm gonna rate every anime a certain point each week. I think this week I'm gonna give Mob Psycho a 5. Just, you know, it's an okay episode. Nothing great, nothing spectacular. It's an okay fight scene, but yeah. Okay, so the order I'm doing this in is the amount of notes I've taken per episode. That's the order. So the least amount of notes I've taken was Mob Psycho, then One Piece, then My Hero, then Chainsaw Man, then Bleach. So we're going to do One Piece next, and then take it from there. So from the last episode, you know, Queen was facing off against Chopper. Chopper's, you know, throwing it around, but he's not doing any damage to him. Kid ran into Big Mom, and they're clashing off. And what are they called? I think they're called the Marys, or the surveillance system for Wano. They located Momonosuke, and they've alerted Kaido. So Kaido's on his way to face Momo. So it opens up with Queen versus Chopper, and as I said before, Chopper's not really doing much to Queen, and Perospero still in the background fighting off his arrows. The Chopper's taking a lot of damage, and Queen he's winning the fight. It's very obvious he's winning the fight. And this goes into a flashback where it's revealed that Caesar Clown, they said Caesar Queen, Caesar the Clown has improved on Chopper's Rumble Balls. Now, the whole thing of Rumble Balls is that they give Chopper, I forgot is it different forms? Or does he do that normally? God, it's been so long, I can't remember. But I know that there's only a short time limit for this form, but Caesar managed to push it for, I think, 10 minutes? But it's more risky, there's more of a chance that he might break out and go into a frenzy. But Chopper decides, you know what, I need to do this so I'm more dependable in the crew. It's at this time, Queen reveals his cybernetics to Chopper, because Queen, he's part of MADS. In the previous video that I made, he is part of MADS. It's a scientific group made of Queen, Judge, and I think, Vegapunk, that's the name, Vegapunk. But I think Caesar the Clown was like an apprentice. But the main three was Queen, Vegapunk, and Judge. So it's been revealed that on top of the mythical zone, I forgot the name, I'm going to say Long Neck. If you know cartoons, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, he has that mythical zone, and he has cybernetic enhancements. So the way this works is he can like extend his neck, he can turn his hand to a gun, and so he extends his neck to bite Chopper. Chopper repels it, gets shot up with arrows, and the fight continues. That's when they make the announcement that Luffy has lost his fight with Kaido. This is obviously a tactic that they want to use to dishearten and demoralize, you know, the samurai army. But everyone just hears it, it's like, well, we said before, this is do or die, let's continue on fighting. And yeah, from there everyone continues with their fights. Kid tells the Short Hats to get out of here. I'm gonna face Big Mom by myself. They have a little, you know, conflict, and Jim is facing Page 1. They're still fighting, and I think Black Betty still fighting Robin at this point, but yeah. I would say the crux of this episode is, the Red Scabbards, Kinemon, Kiku, Momonosuke, and Kiku and Kinemon, they find Momonosuke, and he's still hearing the voices. So I think he heard Luffy, breathing or communicating through the water. And that's when the dick, Kanjuro, he reappears and he creates the image of Oden. Now, because he did this earlier on in the series, they catch on and they go to kill him, but Kiku hesitates. Kiku remembers all the good times she had with Oden, all that they've been through, has a quick flashback, and she hesitates, gets stabbed. Kinemon, he goes up, he knows it's a trick, but because they spent so much time as a unit with Kanjuro, there's the attachment there, there's the history between the two characters, and because of this, he doesn't necessarily hesitate, but he's conflicted as he knows what he has to do. But he ends up cutting down Kanjuro as soon as Kaido finds Momo. Kinemon, he lost his fight earlier to Kaido already. He knows he can't beat him, but he tells, I'm gonna call her Ninja Lady. He tells you, Ninja Lady, take Momonosuke, go, leave, I'll take care of this, don't worry about me. And he gets wrecked, because one-on-one Kaido always wins. And that's pretty much the episode. Nothing remarkable, nothing, whoa, I can't believe this happened. You're gonna get that in this arc, because there's a lot of ups and downs in this arc. But yeah, it's nothing, groundbreaking. As always, animation's on point, music's on point, but nothing new, nothing major happened. I'm gonna give this one a 5 as well. It's just a, solid continuation, a solid movement of the story, and yeah, that's about it. Next up, My Hero Academia. It came out last week, it was a good return episode, and today it continues that level of good entertainment. Where we left off, the Hero Society had split up into 2 groups. One went to the hospital to get the doctor, one went to the HQ. Now it turns out the one at the hospital was fake, and the real one was either hidden, it was hidden beneath the hospital. And that's when the waifu of the episode, Mirko, discovers him, and that's where we left off. Now returning, it picks up with Deku and the others evacuating the civilians in the area. They're not allowed to do much because they are provisional heroes, they only have provisional licenses, and plus they're kids. So they don't want to be in the thick of it, and just keeping them back to, keep them safe as well as improve the safety of the civilians by making sure they get evacuated. Then we go to a hero that I've never seen before, I believe, called Crust. He can create hard constructs, not like Green Lantern, but more like a Diamond Head from Ben 10 with shards and shit. And he comes across a bunch of Nomu and he fights them off. Now, before Mirko, I think it's Mirko, can apprehend the doctor, one of his pet Nomus called Mocha comes and he has a double quirk and is able to, he prevents the apprehension of the doctor. And so, as a last minute resort, he releases the high-end Nomu. Now these high-end Nomus, they're the smartest, they're capable of advanced thought, and they reflect their personality of the humans they were before they were killed. And so they're very top tier Nomu, very strong, very capable, and the doctor makes his complaint that you've prevented me from making further improvements, and now I have to release them. And because all of my pet Nomus are dead, that gets rid of the escape for Shigaraki, there we go, and me. So now I'm gonna have to decrease the time of which Shigaraki can improve. And This is basically Meko's episode. This is my wife. I will find a way to marry her, or at the very least, get an anime girlfriend who can cosplay as Meko. She is fine with a capital F. She is good. She has a rabbit quirk. She could do everything a rabbit can do, but better and humanoid. So she's very agile, powerful kick, strong enough to, break apart flesh. She can move while in midair. It's very, very good stuff. And so she takes on these group of nomus. She's dipping, sliding, jumping around. She's using her kicks, kick off parts of their heads. She's going through that. But because they're high-end nomu, they're not staying down. They're getting back up with this damage. And they end up breaking her hand, causing a cut in her head. So she's not OP, but she is good. She is capable. And she's doing a lot in this episode. This is my wife, the OP, and I swear to God, if anything... Okay, I had to get let myself there. I apologize for that. Next up, we pick up with the advanced group. This is made up of heroes who are good for, assault purposes, and they're gonna go head first, straight into the den, straight into the villain HQ. There's lots of, good faces in here. You got Fat Gum, you got Midnight, Edshot, the Tree Guy, the Giant Lady, the Gang Walker. You have, is it Tokoyami? Is that how I say your name? Tokoyami? Yeah. And you have Kaminari. Now Kaminari, I'm sorry. He's scared. He's just a kid. He's about to go head first into this battle, and he's freaking out. Internally and externally. You can see on his face, Tokoyami trying to, big him up. Miss Midnight trying to say, you'll be fine, just stick with us and we got you. But, he's still nervous. Cementos, he's a cement hero. He goes up first and he uses his quirk, which is, I think he could generate or control cement and stone. He breaks apart the front of the entrance. But just before that, Skeptic, who's one of the villains, he sees a CCTV, I think at the hospital, and he realizes, oh shit, Hawk got us. Hawk is aware of what we've done. Hawk is a traitor. And I've been watching this guy for weeks, for months, and I can't believe I didn't pick up on it. Damn. And before he can alert everyone, that's when the heroes break in. And so he starts strategizing. Send people here, send people there. Come on, people, come to the front. That's when one of the vice commanders comes up and he says, don't worry, I'll handle this. It's at this time Kaminari, he realizes he is useful, and he goes with the group to tackle the heroes, and this vice commander, he has a similar power to Kaminari. So what he does, he got a taser, he shocked himself, and then he released that energy to attack the heroes. But because Kaminari has similar abilities, he just absorbed all the energy and the heroes kept moving forward, and that's the end of the episode. A good episode. Showcase Kaminari, more importantly my wife, never forget that's my wife, Meko, and it just continues this trend of it's just action. I think last season wasn't much action, it was more character progression based, but this one's just action from the get-go. Very good episode. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Very good. Meko's my wife. I won't let you forget that. I will fight you for her. Trust me. I'm Will Smith here. Fight me. Okay. Now we come to the semi-main event of the episode. We're going to be talking about episode 1 of Chainsaw Man. And what a debut, what an impact, one episode. This was a very good start to the series. It is beautifully detailed. There's a nice blend between 3D and 2D, and it's one of the anime where a lot more detail is given to the shape of objects, so you can see all the proportion of the shape, from like a person walking in front of like they're in the foreground and the background is still going on, to like cars and other non-sentient objects. Just very beautiful animation, very nice. The opening music and scene is very good. I just recently learned that the opening contains a lot of references to movies and pop culture, and I thought that was very good. You can already tell this anime has a lot of style to it. A lot of style, a lot of originality, a lot of what's the one I'm looking for? It's very different already from the get-go. It's very different from other animes. And the opening music is very catchy, it's very nice, it's very good. So the first scene we pick up with is Denji. He's the main character, and he's broke. He's literally talking to his pet devil. I think his name is Pochita, I believe. Saying, yeah, this is gonna be a hard month. I've already sold my left testicle. Ends are gonna be very hard to meet this time round. But oh well, let's get this devil. And then gears up, it skips it, and you see the dead devil just standing for him. Now, the reason why he's broke is because his dad had a lot of debt when he died. And because the dad couldn't pay it off, he killed himself, left Denji by himself. And so the debtors transferred the debt over to Denji. And that's why he's broke, that's why he's fighting demons to help pay off this debt. And it's the way that he learned that he had to pay off this debt was that he was at his father's grave. They pulled up on him and said, look, you need to give us this money by tomorrow, otherwise we're going to chop you up and sell you. At the gravesite, that's when you met Pochita. Pochita was a little devil who'd been shot at, was injured, and Denji felt sorry for the devil, so he gave him some of his blood, and they've been friends ever since. As I said, the reason he became a devil hunter from this episode was to pay off the debt. The debt collectors were like, okay, we can get money for killing off devils, so work with us, and the money you make, we'll take some of it to pay off the debt. You can have a little bit, live so you can pay off the debt. There was a scene where he's just reminiscing about things he wish he could do, get a girlfriend, live a normal life, not be broke. He just wants a normal, happy life, basically. He doesn't want too much. He's not greedy. Just something better than the current situation he's in. Because right now he's living like in this old rusty shed. He only had enough money to buy bread so he can eat one slice at a time. And he's sharing that one slice with Pochita, which is, it's sad. I called it broke boy vibes in my notes here, because that's what it is. You only eat one slice of bread? Damn. It's even so far as to say that the driver of the debt collector, we'll call them loan sharks, right? The driver paid him just to eat a cigarette. That's how broke he is. He took it happily because he needed that money to feed him and Pochita. So he gets another job from them, and it turns out these debt collectors made a deal with the devil. And so they gave themselves over to the devil, and now they're here to kill Denji. Because Denji is a devil hunter, and this devil they made a deal with hates devil hunters. And this scene was just gory and beautiful. It started off with him being literally stabbed in the back. From there, he was too injured to fight off these undead people that were working with the devil. And he was chased and was eventually ganged up on and stabbed to death. It was gory, bloody, and it was vastly different to anything I've seen in any anime. It looked beautiful, very nice. So while he's dying, basically, some of his blood, it gets into Pochita, and then you get to see like the bond they shared. And it's there you see Pochita actually talking to Denji. I don't know if this is going on in their head, but you see him talking, saying, I enjoyed the times when you would tell me your dreams. You fed me, you looked after me. I'm not going to let you die here. In fact, I'm going to help you out. And so what Pochita starts doing, right, is he starts to bond with Denji. And you can actually like see it, like his body is sort of like going into sort of tendrils and digging deep into Denji. And so when Denji wakes up, Pochita is nowhere to be seen, but he has a little cable on the front of his like chest. And so he realizes, Pochita, you didn't, did you? You did. And yeah, he realizes Pochita saved his life. He prevented him from dying by bonding, and this basically heals him up, because when we cut back to the body was in shambles, literally cut up into pieces. And when Denji woke up, he was whole again. So he opens up this bin that he's in, because they cut him up and they chucked him in the bin. And the devil and all these minions, they turn around and like, oh, whoa, how are you alive? Never mind, we'll fix that soon enough. He sends his minions, and Denji sort of flies into a rage. He's like, look what you made Pochita do. You wanna piss me off? You wanna get in my way? Fine. And so he wraps the cable on his chest. But nothing happens, and he ends up getting stabbed again and jumped on. And then he transformed. And I love the design of Chainsaw Man. He looks evil and cool at the same time. He looks very good. And what he does next, it's something to behold. It is just absolute carnage. He goes through and he just cuts and rips and stabs and tears everyone apart in this scene. Literally just in half. He chops off heads, hands, stomachs. He is just going in. No one is safe. No one. He kills nearly everyone. No, he kills some of the minions. And then he goes for the devil. And it is just beautiful. The devil's sending out these tendrils. He cuts out all through the tendrils. And he stabs him with his chainsaw head right in the devil's head, and just starts to cut. It is, what a scene. What a scene. The blood is just flying everywhere, and then he manages to cut the devil in half through the head, and then he stays behind and kills one of the minions. So then these people in suits turn up, and when they get there, Denji's just standing there, not moving, not doing anything. This woman, she walks up, and I think they said her name, but I didn't get her name. She walks up, she asks him, you did this, didn't you? I was sent here to kill the devil, but you did that for me. And then, I don't know why, but in his form, he says, hug me. And then he falls over, the woman catches him, and then he starts to revert back to his human form. And so the woman explains, we're the devil hunters with, I think it's something safety. We're alright now. Devil hunters. Yeah, devil hunters, people's safety, something safety, and we're ordered to come kill the devil. And here's what we're gonna do. You can either die here like a devil, or you can stay with me as a human. And you'll be fed, you'll be clothed, you'll be looked after. You just have to come work for me. And so he says, okay, fine, but we're having for breakfast, man. I'm hungry. And then that's where the episode ends. And this was a great first episode. It really sets up the vibe for the rest of the series. It sets up the tone. It sets up everything we need to look for in this anime. No complaints whatsoever. It's beautiful anime, lovely animation. I'm interested to see what happens in episode 2. I want to see how he ends up. I want to see if Pochito comes back. I want to see how he progresses, who he meets, what happens. And yeah, it really sets the stage to see Denji grow. I'm going to give this debut episode 1 of the anime, I might give it 8 out of 10. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Fantastic book. Fantastic. Very good. Last, but definitely not the least, we have the return of one of the big three in Shonen Jump. One of the mainstays of Shonen manga and anime. The return of Bleach. Bleach the Thousand Blood War, Super Saiyan Kamehameha arc, wherever. And it is such a good return. Oh my god. I've never been so hyped for a series. Such a good return. The music, the anime, the animations, the transitions, everything in this anime is what a return anime should be. The perfect, long hiatus return anime. Beautiful. It opens up with this monologue that basically states the Quincy King regains pulse after 900 years, mind after 90, strength after 9, and then it cuts out, so we don't know what happens there, but it's obviously referring to U-Hawk, who is going to be the main antagonist for this arc. And it's just this beautiful scene of anime particles and this Quincy symbol, and it really sets up the tone. Now, at the state of panic at the science division of the Soul Society, right? And one of Mayori's men, they go up to him and say, "Sir, 112 hollows are missing and it's quickly rising. And they're completely disappearing. We don't know what's happening, sir." Now Mayori, he looks at it and he's like, well, cool, don't you realize who this is? Don't you realize what's happening? They're completely disappearing with no trace. Only certain beings are able to do this. And if it's who I think it is, it's gonna be exciting. And he's obviously talking about the Quincy's. Now, I'm not gonna say too much because we're probably gonna get an explanation later on. But the Quincy's versus Shinigamis, it is about to go down. Then we cut over to these new official Shinigamis that's looking over Karakura Town. They're dropped off, and one of them is Ryunoke, I believe. He's shy, he's a bit timid, he doesn't really want to be there, and he's partnering up with a girl named Shino. She's headstrong, short-tempered, and she's there saying, man up. We are here to look after Karakura Town because the Soul Society doesn't want to rely on that substitute Shinigami like they always do. They're depending on us, so we need to man up. Let's spread out and look after the area. So she goes, and he's looking over the scene, and he's looking at all Karakura Town when the hollow appears. Now this is the moment that Ryunoke, he becomes the hero of the manga, the anime, and nope, he runs off. He runs like a little bitch. He runs. He's trying to look for Shino, trying to look for where she is, where she's at. Comes to find out, she got killed. She got stabbed. She got run up on by a bunch of hollows, and she's basically dead. She's dead. And so he's like, you know what? I need to go see if I could save her. And he gets mollywopped by this one hollow behind him. He was about to go in for the kill, when the gang pulled up. The gang of Ichigo, Uryu, and the two disappointments, Chad and Orihime. If you want to know why the disappointments, look up my videos. The disappointments of Chad and Orihime, you'll see why. But this scene, oh my god, I was hyped. I was hyped. The one thing that made me even more hyped, they brought the music back. You know the music I'm talking about? That action music with like I was just saying, it's a black lady. It's obviously a black woman singing that scene. This powerful music. Oh my god. And they whoop these hollows. Ichigo activated his bankai. I don't think he even needed to. He was just showing off at that point just to get the people hyped. He activates it, kills the remaining hollows, and he saves Ryunosuke. Oh, it was an error on my part. No one else getting the name wrong. It's an error. I got the name wrong. Ryunosuke is his name. And so he saves Ryunosuke. Everyone's looking good, looking sharp, looking drippy. And so they take him back. And even one thing I noted here was even the transitions between scenes are nice, looking crisp. They really went out with this revival, I should say. And so Shino, he wakes up after a day of sleeping. He's at Ichigo's house. Everyone shows up. Shino knocks out Ryunosuke, saying, "Where were you, you little bitch? How dare you?" And then a Quincy by the name of Asgero, I believe, Asgero, just shows up in Ichigo's window and is like, "Yo, what are you saying, you man? My name is Asgero. You probably think I'm some guy important." Ichigo's like, "Yo, you get off my bed." Guy's like, no, I'm talking. Let me talk to you for a little bit. Ichigo kicks him out the room. He's like, "Get the hell out." Literally kicks him in his head out the window. Turns out he's a Quincy. Well, they don't know he's a Quincy. Actually, let me explain it properly. At first they thought he was an Aranka because of the eye thing he wore. And Iryu's looking at him like, "You look so familiar, but I don't know where." And so it changes scenes to the goat, Ikaku. And some people are going missing from the village part of the Soul Society. And just investigating it with his squad. And that's when it cuts to the headquarters where Yamamoto is basically run up on by some Quincy's. They run up on him and they're like, "Look, Yamamoto, we're just here to tell you that," I forgot the name that he used. I think it was like the King of Quincy's or the, what was the name they called him? It was like a special name they called him. But like, "Yeah, Yu-Hawk is coming for you. And we all about that smoke. So you best put your, you best ready up, man. You best step up or get stepped on." You know what I mean? That's when you see this big Ryatsu arrow comes in. And it's Sasakibe, the second lieutenant, right? And he's dead. He's finished. He's done. And Yamamoto, he loses his temper. Tried to use one of his flame abilities, but they're already gone by then. And Sasakibe, his last words, he says that you need to know they can steal Bankai on Shinigami. So that's probably how he was defeated. He used his Bankai and they stole it. And then they killed him. So R.I.P. Sasakibe didn't do much in the anime or manga. But hey, what can we do? So Ichigo, he's fighting Asgero, and Asgero was about to was using that device they have to steal his Bankai, but it fails on Ichigo. He doesn't steal it, and he's left flabbergasted, but he does have time to react, because Ichigo uses a Getsugo attention on him and injures him, and so he runs off. And it wasn't action-packed. Okay, it was action-packed, but it wasn't, all that. But it was a good scene to show off the animation. So the guy runs off, he goes back to the headquarters, So guys giving in shit like, huh, you failed? Really? Really? The king gave you one job and then Yu-Hawk cuts off his arm. He's like, hey, I didn't say you could talk. And then that's the end of the episode. Like, Yu-Hawk is starting to make his moves. And what a return. What a return. It's like, it feels like a new series, but a continuation all at the same time. It just feels good. It's a good episode. Even the credits showed flashbacks of how the anime finished in the beginning. And it's a good touch. I really liked it. It's a good week for anime. I'm going to give this episode of Bleach 8 out of 10 as well. If we rank them up, I would say Mob is last, followed by One Piece, then My Hero, but then Chainsaw Man and Bleach take the top spot. Good anime. Just a good week in anime. Good animation, good plot stuff. Everything's just moving, it's action packed, and I can't wait for next week. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as I can, to put this out as quickly as I can. Next week, we still got, Mob Psycho, One Piece. Everything that I've done here is going to be out next week. So, yeah, till then, thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.